Endurance isn't something that you're just born with. It's definitely something that's built over time. It's just like working out. The more you push through, the stronger you get. But let's be very clear. Just because you can endure something doesn't mean you should. What's up, ladies, and welcome back to another episode of I'm Jess Sayin, the podcast where we talk about real life accountability, self-awareness, and leveling the hell up. I'm Jess, your host and your favorite accountability coach, and I want you to know that you have officially entered into a what? A safe space. That is right. This space is safe, but it is also real. So go ahead, get comfortable, get prepared to get some gems because they definitely will be dropped. Now, it may be a little bit uncomfortable, but we keep it real and raw here because that is how you get to real results. So once again, let me reintroduce myself. I'm Jess, your host and your favorite accountability coach. And what's my mission is to help women just like you stop playing it small, stop making excuses, and to start actually living the life that you know that you deserve. And how am I going to do that? By holding you accountable, and not just in the relationships that you have with other people, but also in the relationship with yourself. The most important relationship that you can have with any human being walking this earth is the one that you have with yourself. Everything starts with yourself. So we will always focus on you. People say, "Oh, you think the world revolves around you, don't you?" Absolutely. Your world revolves around you. It's your world. Now, before we get into today's topic, I want you guys to make sure you take this moment to make sure you're signed up for my email list. The link is down below. Make sure you're signed up if you want to receive your daily motivation, any type of self-awareness tips, and exclusive updates about my new upcoming coaching program that will be dropping really soon. And listen, while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You know you want to. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you like the episode and share it with a friend. Now, let's get into it. So I hope you guys have gotten real comfortable because we're about to dive in and it's going to get real sticky. It's going to get real sticky, okay? Because today we're going to be talking about the reality of endurance. I don't think a lot of people understand, or I won't say a lot, but I know that there are some people that just don't understand that the things that we go through in life builds our endurance. And it's just unfortunate that the way we choose to utilize that endurance, sometimes it's for situations that don't quite benefit us. Because listen, life is going to build your endurance, whether you want it to or not. That's just the way the world works. From your heartbreaks, your struggles, your disappointments, they all toughen you up in a way. Now, I have to give it to you. Some of us take that endurance and actually use it to grow, to build, and to motivate ourselves to push forward. But some of us use it on shit that's not even worthy of our strength. Now, like I said, ladies, it's going to get real sticky in here, so we're not going to waste any time because it's time for us to go ahead and take the blinders off, see life for what it really is, so you can finally stop being in that repeated cycle of picking wrong people, making bad decisions, doing things that you are not proud of. It's time for us to go ahead and step into reality, seeing things for what they really are, seeing yourself for who you really are. So it's time for us to rip off the Band-Aid, because the wildest part about endurance, when I say that there are some of us that waste our energy on shit that's not even worth our strength, it's crazy how some of us will give a man a chance after chance after chance to try and get it right when they probably have no intentions of ever getting it right. But the second you fail at something, that you want to do for you, you quit. Crazy, right? Yeah, it's real crazy. It's crazy how you'll fight for these friendships that you've known have probably been dead a long time ago. You'll fight to keep friendships alive, but you won't fight for yourself when it comes to you fighting to keep your dreams alive. You'll endure a toxic job, dealing with a boss that you hate, coworkers that constantly gossip behind your back every day. You'll deal with a draining relationship, something that a person that's requiring you to keep pouring into them never pours into you. You'll keep tolerating that energy sucking friendship, the person that you always answer the phone for, but they never answer the phone for you, but you won't endure the discomfort that it takes for you to grow. Now that's real crazy. That's real wild. I'm sorry. I told y'all we're ripping the Band-Aid off. We are ripping it off. We're done with being cutesy, demure. This is a very uncutesy, undemure kind of conversation because it's really unfortunate that we put so much time, energy into other people, but we won't put it into ourselves. You have created this massive dream. God has validated it for you. God has gave you the stamp of approval that this is what you need to do. And the first time that you fail at something, and it's not even really a failure, but as soon as you hit one bump in the road, you're ready to give up on yourself, but you will give other people 1,001 chances to screw you over. I'm tired of hearing about it, and you should be tired of living it. Now, if this applies to you, I know you're probably sitting here wondering, I do things like that. Why do I do things like that? Well, I'll tell you why. It's really easy to understand because, yes, growth is uncomfortable. Healing is definitely painful. And doing something new, something for you, comes with uncertainties. We all know this. That is why it's so important for you to save your endurance for yourself, because sometimes you do have to dig deep to push through. Sometimes you do have to use that last bit of fuel that you have just to get to the other side. But I'll be damned if I will sit by and continue to watch so many women pour all of their energy into other people and have nothing left for themselves. Just like how they say when it comes to money, if it's not something that you're willing to not get back, don't give it. Same thing goes with your energy. If you don't have that energy to give, that you don't need it back, don't give it. That is a true sign that you're running low on fuel. And you need to save it for you, because there's no guarantee that anybody's going to pour back into you. And I know some of you are probably like, well, I can depend on my friends. My family is always there for me. I have a very strong support system. While that may be true, you never know what the next day may bring. You don't know if your support system is going to live to make it to the next day. You don't know what your support system is going to have going on tomorrow. You don't know what storm they may be weathering to where they may not be there for you. You see, people not being able to show up for you is not always because they don't want to. Sometimes they're just not able to. And that is why you have to do what you have to do for you. Because there's not always going to be somebody in your corner. Sometimes you have to be your own cheerleader. Sometimes you have to be your own coach. Sometimes you have to be your own whatever it is. I can't reference sports because I don't know anything about positions. But sometimes you do have to play every freaking position. And while that may be unfortunate, it's life. While life may be scary because we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what's going to come, we don't always know what's on the other side of the door. But the truth is, you've already proven that you can endure hard things. Look at your resume. Look at all the things that you've pushed through. Look at all the things that you didn't think you would make it through, but you are here in this moment today watching this episode. And I'm here to hold your hand when I say this. You made it. Yeah, something's going to come tomorrow. Something may very well be going on right now. But all of the things that you went through already, you made it. And you've built that endurance, which is why the storms, they're gonna keep coming. Sometimes you feel like things are just happening to you, but things are happening for you. We have these dreams. We want major things to happen in our lives. We want these amazing things to happen. And you just don't understand what it is that you have to do to get there. And not even just to get there, but to stay there. You know, when you watch these like warrior movies and you see like the main warrior, Spartacus, let's think about Spartacus. If anyone has ever watched Spartacus, I really love that show. I only watched the first season. That's neither here nor there. But think about something like Spartacus, someone like Spartacus. You're Spartacus. But think of all the things that Spartacus had to endure before he came their best warrior. Before he was winning all the fights, he was getting tossed around, picked up, dragged, family destroyed, taken away from him, things, people stolen away from him. And all of that built endurance. So we're not any different from anybody else. All of us want amazing lives for ourselves. That is true. The only thing is we don't know what steps, what things we have to endure to build up the endurance to actually be able to attain the lives that we dream of. So yes, while I know it may sound cliche, when you're going through these situations that you know are going to build up your endurance, look at them as a badge of honor. Learn from the situations, grow from the situations. Take whatever you can from those situations. You've already proven that you can endure hard things. You've already stuck it out of situations that have drained you, disrespected you, and gave you nothing, absolutely nothing in return. So why won't you endure things for yourself? Why not push through your fears? Why not push through your doubts? Why not push through all of the what ifs that you have for all of the amazing things that you have for yourself? Why not push through all of those obstacles for you? And you see, this is something that I also struggled with myself. Some of us out here, somewhere along the way, convinced ourselves that the endurance that we've built is only supposed to be used for survival and not for success. That is not true. You do not go through struggles just to continue to struggle. That is why you have to look for the lesson in things so you can move differently. Because yes, like I said, there's always going to be a storm. But sis, you don't want to keep going through the same damn storm every season. You don't want to keep going through the same storm. You want to learn from the storm. You want to move on, get a little further up the ladder, deal with another storm, take whatever information, whatever lessons you need to take from that, and keep climbing the ladder, whatever ladder that is. That can be your career ladder, your love ladder, your relationship ladder, your financial ladder, whatever ladder that it is. You're gonna have to go through these storms. Take what you need to take from them and utilize it for you to continue to move forward. So from this day forward, we are no longer believing that struggling is normal while thriving is optional. We need to reverse that. We're going to reverse that. Because you don't exist just to keep toughing it out. You're not here to keep toughing it out through every situation. You're here to break through, break free, live, be happy. Yes, growing is not comfortable. But the thing about it is the discomfort that comes with growth is only temporary. But the discomfort that comes with staying the same, it will last you a lifetime. The more you keep doing the same old thing and you keep on experiencing the same old struggles, the more you're going to keep dealing with the same old thing. It's so easy to move all the puzzle pieces that surround us. Things are going bad. Oh, it's the job. Maybe it's, my partner, they're not supportive enough. Oh, my friends, they're not quite where they need to be either. They're really not as supportive as I want them to be. All those things may be true, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that you have to start with you. You can't avoid holding yourself accountable if you want to experience real change. It's so easy for us to just keep moving the puzzle pieces that surround us instead of focusing on the main piece, which is you. All right, so I know I touched on this a little bit in the beginning, but I want to just dive a little bit deeper into the ways that women misuse their endurance. Yes, I've already made you a little bit uncomfortable. I know you're probably like, Jess, why are you talking to me in such a disrespectful tone? Well, you know what, sis? You teach people how to treat you. And if you've been letting people disrespect you that have not been trying to help you, then you can deal with a little disrespectful tone the words that are coming out of my mouth, they may be coming out in a disrespectful tone to you, but I promise you they're coming from a place of love. I am here to help you. I am here to help you be better. So just keep that in mind as we go into this next segment, because it's already sticky, but I'm about to shake the table a little bit because I really want you to get this. I really want you to hear this. I really want you to take it all in so you can understand. And the only way that I can do that is to make sure that you're able to relate to what I'm saying so that you can understand what I'm saying so that we can be better. And like I said, I know it's uncomfortable. I go through this. I have gone through this, and I still weather my own storms. So in me saying this to you, I'm also saying it to myself. All right, so let's get into it. The ways that women misuse endurance. I know I touched on this a little bit, but I just want to dive into it a little bit deeper because I really need you to grasp the concept of how we continue to do these things. Sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you can't see, but that is why I am here to shed light on it so we can understand and we can fix it and we can continue to move forward. So one of the first ways that women misuse their endurance, usually number one, relationships. We always want to be there for people. It's in our nature to help people. And sometimes we just find ourselves always putting other people before ourselves. But let's be real. I told you I'm going to be relatable because I know what you're going through. I know what you're going through because I know what I went through. And I know what a lot of women around me have gone through. So let's get real about it. Some of y'all have been holding a man down longer than you've held down a commitment to yourself. Like I said, I know I said this earlier. I touched on it just a little bit, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Because he lies, he cheats, he disrespects you. But you say, I'm going to give him one more chance. You know what? I know he been cheating for 3 years, but it got to get better. It just got to get better. It has to. Like, I just don't understand. If I keep putting in all this work, I know it's going to get better. Meanwhile, you try skill one time, sis, and when it doesn't go perfectly, you say, maybe this ain't for me. Maybe this is not for me. Like, I just don't get it. I thought this what was meant for me to do. God gave me a vision and I just know that I could be a great lash tech, but I'm not getting the concept. And then I got to go to school. What? I've been doing lashes out my house. Why I got to go get a certification? Why do I have to go do this? I got to market myself. How do I do that? What? I actually have to be consistent. Now, that's too much. I just do not think that this is meant for me. I'm going to try something else. Maybe, being a lash tech is just not meant for me. Let me go open a boutique and sell clothes because I know it requires work and schooling and stuff over here. But, I like to buy clothes, so it won't be nothing for me to buy clothes, put them on, take some cute pictures, post them on Instagram. I know that'll be way better, because I tried doing this for like 2 months and it's just not working out. I ain't got no clients. You tried your business for 2 months. You've been giving this man a chance for 3 years. See, the difference is when it comes to your career goals, The only person you have to really worry about is you. You have absolute control over how that goes because the only person that matters in that situation is you. If you be consistent, you continue to work hard enough, yeah, you probably won't get clients right off the rip, but I can tell you, you will start to generate some business because you're going to continue to learn. You're going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to invest in yourself. You're the only party that's really involved when it comes to your success, when it comes to your career. But see, in your relationship, there's a whole nother party involved. Just because you want to make it work doesn't mean he wants to make it work. Now, we're not going to play these games and fool ourselves like we do into believing that, well, if he didn't want me, why he's still here? I don't know. Maybe because you allow him to be there. I don't know. Maybe because he hasn't had a job in the past year. I don't know. Maybe because he doesn't want to leave you because he knows once he leaves, you're going to be upset that he no longer wants the relationship. And then you're going to want to put him on child support. And then you're not going to want to let him see the kid. And then you're going to want to make him jump through all these hoops. So he feels like it would just be easier just to stay there with you and be miserable instead of going through all of these changes that comes with leaving you. Stop letting people play on your top. Because we're not going to sit here and pretend like you don't know that there's a man sitting up in your house right now that's unhappy and he does not want to be there with you. He probably goes to go see his little girlfriend from time to time, or everybody doesn't cheat. I won't even say that. He's probably just there paying the bills, doing what he needs to do to keep you quiet for whatever reason, for however long he needs to, until he creates his escape plan to get the hell up out of there. So now you've tolerated, you've invested, you've put all this energy and time, endurance into trying to make a relationship survive that you didn't even realize was already dead. Either you didn't realize it or you just didn't want to accept it, because we're not going to pretend like we don't have intuition. We always have intuition when we feel like our man is cheating. We always feel like we have intuition when he's been gone too long. We always feel like we have intuition when we think somebody's trying to hit on him. But you're going to sit up here and tell me that your intuition didn't tell you that that man wasn't happy with you. You're going to sit up here and tell me that your intuition did not tell you that this relationship has been dead, gone, non-existent, no love left. That's what you're going to tell me. We can investigate and see everything else coming, but you don't see that coming. You think you're holding him hostage, but you're holding yourself hostage, because all that energy that you're putting into that relationship that's going nowhere, probably just a highway to hell, you could be putting that into yourself. You could be building yourself up to be better. And then in you being better, you can actually attract the person that's meant for you. All right, so I know I went off on a tangent with that one, but I just really have to, really dig into it when it comes to these relationships, because, I'm gonna do a whole episode on us and men and all of that, because it deserves it. But let's go ahead and roll into the number two. Number two, the second reason, the second way we misuse our endurance is with these freaking friendships. Listen, first of all, you need to revisit how you consider someone to even be a friend in the first place. I do not like the whole bestie trend. You know somebody for 6 months and y'all, like talking and liking each other's stuff on social media. Maybe y'all chat on live here and there. And now all of a sudden they're your bestie because y'all have the same goals, but you're not helping each other accomplish any goals. Y'all just, have some things in common per social media. You probably don't even know each other in real life, or it's the friend that you just enjoy partying with. Hey, just be a little bit more careful on how you choose someone to be your friend. But getting into the friendships, you love encouraging your friend. You love showing up for your friend. You love making excuses for why they don't reciprocate the energy that you give them all the time. But when is the last time that you showed up for yourself like that? When is the last time you have encouraged yourself like that? When is the last time you actually stood in the mirror and said an affirmation to yourself that you really believed in? Or said an affirmation to yourself that maybe you don't believe in, but you want to believe in, and you stood there and you repeated it until you believed it? When was the last time you did that for yourself? When was the last time you showed up for yourself? When was the last time you were tired? You didn't want to get up, but you got your ass up anyways because you knew it was things that you needed to get done. The same way you'll get up when your friend calling you because she's going through a heartbreak and blah, blah, blah. Nothing wrong with doing that, but you got to do it for you as well. The third reason, work and goals. I love this one because this is one that we all find ourselves getting stuck in because who really goes to a job that they love? I know it's a few of us out there. A few of us go to a job that we actually enjoy doing. We actually feel appreciated. We actually get some type of fulfillment out of it besides the paycheck that barely pays our bills. Some of us. But then there are some of us that clock into a job every day. We don't like the job. We don't like the coworkers. We don't like the bosses, but we do it because we have to. We have to. Why? Because bills have to be paid. I get it. But when it comes to your business, your passions, you let one roadblock stop you. You go in and you help make another person's business money. Because the one thing about it, you're working for your paycheck, but I just wish we could see how much those 8, 10, 12 hours, how much income that really produces for the business. I know how much you get paid hourly, but I just wish that we could know how much that business makes off of that time that you invest into their business every single day. It's really unfortunate that we've been programmed to continue to endure the stress, the misery, the unhappiness that comes with grinding it out for somebody else's business just because we feel like that's what we have to do just to get by. But we won't grind it out. We won't endure all of the things that we need to do to actually make our own dreams come true. It's really unfortunate. Listen, I get it. We have to do what we have to do when it comes to making sure bills get paid, when it comes to taking care of our families. I 100% understand that. Being a single woman, having to make sure I do what I have to do to get all of my personal products. I do what I have to do to make sure I continue to have a roof over my head, a car to drive, and still try to enjoy some of the luxuries that I can when I can. But guess what? I'm so proud of myself because even when I don't feel like it, even when my body is telling me to lay down and rest, yes, I will take a nap, absolutely. But I will definitely force myself to stay consistent and to hold myself accountable when it comes to this podcast. Because once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I know that this is what I am meant to do. Doesn't necessarily have to be in this form, but letting you all hear my voice, hear my message. I know that that is something that I'm supposed to be doing. So whether it's on a podcast, whether it's on social media, whether it's something in person, I know that I have to take the time to invest in this project because I know that this is what is meant for me to do in this season. In this season, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So yes, I do work. I probably even need to get a side hustle at the rate this economy is going. But I also know that I have to prioritize my dreams as well. Number 4, self-worth. You have to know that you are worthy. You have to know it. And I mean, you have to really believe it, feel it, see the worthiness in yourself. I'm telling you, it's nothing more powerful than looking at the mirror and telling yourself something. Like, I know it probably sounds crazy and you may be uncomfortable when you first do it, but I'm telling you, if you look in the mirror and you're repeating something that maybe you don't believe in, if you stand there and look at yourself enough, you'll start to slowly believe it. And even if you don't believe it in that moment, you'll start to feel that fire starting to light up. And all it takes is just a little bitty light, and you're going to want to feel it. You're going to yearn for it. You're going to want to really believe the words that you're saying. So I just need you to know that you are worth fighting for. We fight for everyone else. We fight for everything else. And now it's time for you to fight for you. You've proven that you can endure. Like I said, just look at your resume. You've endured a lot, and now it's time for you to start enduring for you. The only question is, are you going to start applying that endurance to yourself today? It has to start today, sis. It is no, I'm going to work on it. No, start today. Do something, commit to something today. Stick it out, starting today. Whatever it is, write it down. Start working on yourself today because you're worth it and you deserve it. Now let's talk about how endurance is built and how you can use it wisely. Endurance isn't something that you're just born with. It's definitely something that's built over time. It's just like working out. The more you push through, the stronger you get. But let's be very clear. Just because you can endure something doesn't mean you should. So here's a few things that you can ask yourself if you ever find yourself feeling conflicted about where you should put your energy. Number one, is this pushing me forward or pulling me back? Number two, am I pouring from an empty cup? Number three, if this were someone else, would I tell them to keep going or let it go? Because remember, your endurance is a tool. You just have to make sure you use it wisely. Now, here are some tips on how you can start using your endurance for you. First, you want to set standards and boundaries. My favorite thing to set is boundaries. Stop enduring things that drain you. That's number one. If it's not serving you, then baby, it's time for you to let it go. Number two, give yourself grace. You deserve the same second, third, fourth, fifth chances that you've been giving everybody else. The third thing is to take action. Sometimes we do steps number 1 and 2 so easily, but we're so afraid to take action. You need to stop waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. Now is the perfect time. This moment is the perfect time, because the perfect time that you're waiting for, I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's not coming. So you might as well just start now. And the fourth thing is to make sure you have accountability. It's great to have an accountability partner if you can. If you have a friend or a business partner or whatever, a group that you can join, anything that you can utilize as a resource to help you be more accountable, do that. Speaking of accountability, make sure if you have not already, sign up for my email list, because we got some special things coming real soon and you do not want to miss out. I want to make sure that all of my listeners are a part of the community so that we can continue to grow together. So I love a good challenge. And before we wrap up, I do want to challenge all of you to do something different this week. I want you to choose one thing this week that you're choosing to redirect your endurance toward. It can be a goal, it can be a boundary, it can be a decision that you've been avoiding, whatever it is. Choose you this time. So I want to leave you guys with this think piece. If you took all the strength you had, all the resilience you have, and applied it to yourself instead of everybody else, what would change? Really, what would change? If you think about all of that energy that you've invested into other people, just think about if you invested that same amount of energy into yourself. If you stopped quitting on you, where would you be? Where would you be? I really want you guys to reflect on that. And on that note, I will see you guys next week. And I just want to remind you to continue to invest in yourself. Continue to love on yourself. Continue to be yourself. This your girl Jess, and I'm just saying. But sis, what are you saying?